The supplement industry thrives on a specific illusion that maximizing muscle growth requires spending thousands of dollars every year on highly engineered powders. However, muscle growth requires more than isolated macros. Your body relies on a network of cellular cofactors, things like dietary fiber, zinc, and collagen, to turn protein into tissue. Most powders leave those out. This comparison table shows the trade-off. On the left is $50 worth of whey protein powder. On the right, $50 spent on budget whole foods like lentils, canned tuna, eggs, and pork. We track total protein, leucine, secondary nutrients, and absorption rates. When you look past the top-line protein count, the gap is clear. The secondary nutrients row for whey is empty. The whole foods column is packed with essential minerals and structural cofactors. Acknowledging that whole food is biologically superior is the easy part. The difficulty lies in navigating a grocery aisle with dozens of options and no clear sense of which ones actually fit your specific lifestyle. We are organizing the 15 most effective protein sources into functional grocery stacks, categorized by your actual constraints, your budget, your prep time, and your recovery needs. Choosing whole foods means trading shaker bottle convenience for a minor increase in prep time. In exchange, you get a much higher return on your biological investment. We start with the Zero Prep Stack. This portfolio is for the time-poor optimizer who needs instant nutrition without turning on a stove. This chart maps options by prep time and cost per gram. Canned tuna and sardines land in the absolute bottom left corner. Zooming in reveals they deliver massive omega-3s for under 5 cents per gram, with over 90% bioavailability. Bioavailability measures how much protein your body actually absorbs. An absorption rate past 90% means your body extracts almost every gram from a cheap tin of fish, whereas many expensive powders pass through your system only partially digested. For a zero prep option that offers a completely different texture, thick Greek yogurt provides a significant biological advantage. Greek yogurt utilizes a dual-action delivery system. It floods your muscles with fast-digesting whey immediately, while a dense matrix of casein protein feeds those muscles steadily for several hours, all for about 80 cents a serving. These zero prep staples eliminate the excuse of having no time to cook, and they outperform standard synthetic supplements in total absorption. If you prioritize absolute maximum biological response and are willing to cook, you need the Maximizer Stack. On the chart, whole eggs, lean beef, and pork populate the middle zones. They require moderate prep time and cost, but the nutritional density is exceptionally high. Take eggs, for example. Research shows that eating a whole egg after a workout, yolks included, triggers a 40% greater muscle growth response than eating egg whites alone. That growth response is called muscle protein synthesis. Lean ground beef triggers a 47% higher rate of synthesis than protein-matched plant meals, while also delivering natural creatine. Then there is pork, a frequently overlooked muscle food. A single pork chop delivers nearly 40 grams of protein paired with high levels of dietary zinc. Zinc is required to regulate testosterone production and immune function.
Adding pork to your rotation helps prevent the hormonal bottlenecks that can stall progress in the gym. The trade-off with this stack is that you have to account for higher fat and calorie counts. But for those who can manage the macros, this group offers the highest ceiling for muscle growth. If you are dealing with stalled strength or creeping joint pain, you should focus on the recovery and structure stack. These entries, salmon, bone broth, and cottage cheese, skew higher on the cost axis because they serve specialized repair functions that standard proteins don't cover. Cottage cheese is a tool for strategic timing. Eating it before bed uses its slow-release casein protein to feed your muscles throughout your entire sleep cycle. Muscle growth is limited by the strength of your connective tissue. Bone broth delivers type 1 collagen, which repairs the tendons and ligaments your muscles are anchored to. Combining bone broth with the skin of wild-caught salmon provides a dual defense against physical breakdown. The massive influx of omega-3 fatty acids from the salmon increases the rate at which torn muscle tissue rebuilds while actively reducing post-training inflammation. While this stack requires a higher grocery budget, it addresses the structural decay that can halt long-term muscle gains. For those on a strict budget or looking for longevity-focused options, we transition to the plant-based stack.
Dried beans and lentils sit in the extreme bottom right corner of our chart. They require the most prep time, but offer the absolute lowest cost per gram of protein. The math is hard to ignore. Lentils and beans provide the amino acid leucine and complex carbohydrates for between 10 and 20 cents per serving. Shifting our focus to whole plant-based proteins introduces entirely new biological mechanisms that standard animal proteins simply lack. Tofu, fermented tempeh, and quinoa are rare exceptions in the plant world that deliver all 9 essential amino acids in a single food. Tempeh also provides prebiotics through fermentation. Optimizing your gut bacteria ensures that the protein you eat actually reaches the cellular level where it can be used. The trade-off is clear. You sacrifice a few hours of Sunday prep time to achieve the lowest cost per gram available while supporting your digestive health. Blindly following a generic grocery list often leads to financial burnout. Your food choices should be dictated by your actual constraints. Use this decision tree to build your specific list. Identify your single most restrictive lifestyle constraint: money, time, or recovery. If money is your primary constraint, your baseline should be built on dried beans, lentils, pork chops, and canned tuna. If time is the enemy, focus your grocery run on Greek yogurt, sardines, and cottage cheese to maximize nutrition without cooking. If you are struggling with physical pain or plateaus, prioritize skin-on salmon, bone broth, and tempeh to drive structural repair. The supplement industry relies on the fact that most shoppers prioritize the convenience of a scoop over the cost per gram calculation of whole foods. Strategically matching whole foods to your biological and financial constraints provides the foundational support that isolated powders cannot replicate.